Afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for joining in tonight's group. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen for you guys. Please let me know if you can see that.
Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So tonight I'm going to be the facilitator. My name is Lillian Fazi. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about suicide awareness and some interventions. I'm going to ask that everybody go ahead and introduce themselves, and if they're comfortable, go ahead and share your pronouns. Raymond, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure. Raymond Taylor, he, him.
Nikki
Nikki Beechner, she, her.
and Donna.
Donna Jean Steele and she, her.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. So for tonight, I am going to ask you all to do a check-in with me together. We'll touch base on some of our expectations as members in the group tonight, and then I have a hopefully fun activity or icebreaker. If you guys don't think it's fun, you're not going to hurt my feelings, don't worry. I also want to share some statistics about suicide, just to kind of make you guys aware of that if you aren't already for the previous years. And then I'm also going to talk about coping skills and or some self-care activities that individuals can utilize to prevent burnout and reduce stress. And then before we end, I'm going to ask you guys to do a check out with me. All right, so check in. I'm going to ask you all to share one word that you're arriving with tonight. Nikki?
Tired.
I can completely agree with that. It's Wednesday, halfway through the week, hump day. Thank
We're
goodness.
almost there.
I agree. Donna?
Overstimulated.
I'm sorry to hear that. There's a lot of days where that can happen, and hopefully the rest of the week is going up towards you for you.
Hopefully.
Raymond, I see you're thinking.
Present, I guess.
At this point in the
Are
day,
you saying that you are present? Like I'm
Yes,
here.
I'm sorry. I'm
or-
not like a present. I am
You are
present.
a present.
I'm present in this situation.
I would consider you all, your gift is a present for me tonight from you all. Thank you all for sharing and doing that check-in with me. So let's go, and I want you to share one rule or kind of expectation that you want all the other group members to follow tonight. I will start with Raymond.
I'll go with being respectful.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Donna?
Being open-minded.
Mm-hmm. And then Nikki.
Man, you took mine. I think just being caring for each other. Self-care or suicide awareness is a heavy topic.
I agree. Absolutely. Okay. Next is the icebreaker. So with this, I took a little bit of a spin and I wanted to tie in with our topic that we're going to be discussing. So I have 3 different quotes here. One quote is about hope, one quote is about resilience, and one quote is about mental health awareness. So I would like you guys to read through those 3 quotes, and then I'm going to go and ask you all to share which one resonates with you and why. So I'll give you all a couple of minutes, seconds to think about that. And then while you guys are still thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and just share what quote resonates with me. I chose Glenn Close. So his quote stating what mental health needs is more sunlight or more awareness, more candor, and more unshamed conversation. I feel like there's a lot of negative stigma that's still prevalent in society that needs to be diminished. Sorry about that. My cat has joined the group meeting tonight. His name is Rocky, and he goes by him pronouns. Nikki, would you like to share what quote resonates with you and why?
Yes, I can also share my cat that I'm currently petting that won't leave me alone. Uh, I would actually also say the last one. Don't mean to steal that from you, but that unashamed conversation really resonates with me. I think it's so important. It really resonates with me today because of a particular client that I had. I think we just need to have more of those conversations.
Absolutely. That's actually, why that stuck with me is just those two words right there. Those hold
Yeah,
a lot of power.
yeah, they do.
Donna?
I would say the second quote, the resilience is knowing that you're the only one that has the power and responsibility to pick yourself back up. That resonates with me mostly right now because I'm working with a young population of students that we're trying to build resilience for, and I want to set them up for success for the rest of their life. And um, as well, also looking inward and knowing like I'm the only person that can do it for me, which is almost kind of a sad feeling. Makes me kind of feel alone, but I don't think that's the point of it. But it's a very kind of like lonely saying almost.
No, I actually appreciate that perspective because when I put that quote in there, I kind of contemplated on whether I truthfully wanted to because I felt like it did have a little bit of controversy. Because I feel kind of both sides with that quote that, resiliency is knowing that you have that responsibility and you are holding yourself accountable to pick yourself back up. But we also can do that with support in our support
Yeah.
system. So I can kind of see both sides.
And I didn't say that for the quote to be negative, but it's more like it reminds me of like you come into this world alone, you leave this world alone type thing. Like you're on your own.
Yeah.
Don't, but it also can be a positive of the only person you have, the only person that you can control is yourself. So being able to do that too.
Mhm. I just want to ask, did I mess up the screen at all?
You did, yeah.
Yes.
I thought so. No worries.
Because right now yep, there we go.
There we
You're
go.
good now.
Wonderful. Raymond, would you like to go ahead and share what quote resonates with you?
Yeah, mine was going to be the last one also.
Okay.
I think with the topic of suicide awareness, that whole unashamed conversation, which everyone has picked up on, which I mean, just points out to how amazing we are as social workers. We want to like take away that that shame that people have about that topic. So I like, for example, when I'm talking with a client and I'm like, well, I think they might be feeling this way about this because they're going through all this stuff, like validating the feeling of like, are you having suicidal thoughts? But like coming about it is like, people who are going through these things, a lot of times get they have those feelings of suicide. So trying to take the shame out of it and just point out the fact that um they're not alone if they have those feelings and that we're here to help and that there shouldn't be any
Mhm.
shame with feeling down and sad, and if you have feelings of like that, to talk about it.
Absolutely agree with that, Raymond. Thank you, everybody, for participating in that icebreaker activity with me. I'm going to move along and share some statistics with you. So these, unfortunately, are going to date back because at this time there are no definite concrete statistics for 2024, 2023, and 2025. So I was able to find some statistics from the year 2018 to 2022, specifically within the state of New York, just because that's where I reside. So I thought it would be fun to share some statistics on that. The specific graph here shows that white individuals unfortunately pass by suicide at a higher rate than any other race in New York State. You can also see within the graph, there's a color code. So New York is with pink dots, and national statistics for the different races are going to be in the blue.
Oh, okay.
Down
I'm wondering,
below,
I
go
wonder
ahead.
if, sorry to interrupt you, I wonder if the population of New York State, like just being, maybe there's just more white people, or if it's just, if that's like, I forget what they call that, when it when it tilts one way or the other way
Oh
because
my
of something
goodness, I
like
know what
that.
you're talking about, but I can't think of it.
I can't think of the word. It's too late in the evening. Hyper
I
index or hyper
Like per
or
capita?
index, not per capita, but like over indexing. Like white
Oh,
people over
yes.
index
gotcha.
because there might be more white people in New York State, or maybe that's just
No,
compared
that could be a
to other people.
possibility. And
I don't know. I was just curious if we had that information, but it sounds like we don't.
no, I was gonna say I haven't looked into that, but I'm actually curious to look into that now, considering you bringing that perspective into the group meeting. So I appreciate that. It could be a high possibility. It could be very plausible that that's the case. But I'm unsure of that, unfortunately. The codes down at the bottom, or the rating scale, is going to be per 100,000. So you would see that the 5 would be 5 per 100,000 or 10 per 100,000. And then I do have another graph to share with you all, if you can see it. The little mini screen keeps popping in the middle. So this is a statistical graph geared towards age groups. And these are between the ages of 59 to 59 years, even though you can see they show younger in there as well, the young and young adults and middle life. Again, this is with pink being New York and blue being United States, and still going along the deaths per 100,000, with 0 to 20. So you can kind of see there's like a plateau almost at the top, and then it kind of goes down but strikes back up, as well as a strike going up with the youth and young adults.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes, absolutely.
So for both of these are showing that New York is below average of the nation. Is that okay?
That's
So
correct.
my brain gets things
With
twisted.
graphs, it's confusing, but sometimes individuals learn better with
Yeah.
visuals, so I wanted to include both
Yeah.
audio and visual for everybody. Do you have a question,
Yeah.
Donna?
Now I was going to agree that
Okay.
like on the first graph, it was harder. I mean, I noticed it that we were below average compared to
Mm-hmm.
United States. And I wonder why that is. Yeah, it's interesting.
Maybe that's something I'm also going to be interested in looking further into. I appreciate all of your perspectives tonight. It's been very opening. I'm going to continue on and move to the coping skills and self-care activities. So I want to share with you guys and kind of have an open discussion about some different distraction or positive activity-based strategies. There was a study conducted that showed that even though lack of coping skills or lack of self-care activities are not the main factor into individuals committing suicide, it still is considered a risk factor leading up to it. So I just wanted to touch base on some of these things. Number one, the engaging in the five senses, that is going to be a great distraction strategy. So engaging the five senses could include the smell, if anybody has their favorite candle that they want to light, or even using lotion or aromatherapies. Utilizing the touch, so having fidget balls or different fidget tools, during times of increased stress or during times where individuals have increased suicidal ideations. This has been found to be very beneficial to alleviate those. And then there's other senses like seeing, like doing different drawing, different things like that for self-care. And then we also have creative expression. So that's kind of both the distraction and positive activity. This could be making Mod Podge items. It could be doing collages. It could be doing journal entries or diary entries. It really just truly depends on what works for each individual. And then being in nature can be a really good distraction strategy. So this could be going for hikes, it could be kayaking, swimming, maybe, with the colder seasons coming up in New York State, you're one that likes to snowboard or ski, or maybe you just hang out at the ski slopes while your friends are doing that. I wanted to ask, do any of you utilize these strategies currently?
All three.
All three. I love that. Okay. What about everybody else? Raymond or Donna?
I like to be in nature. I like to do walks. I find myself needing that to get grounded and kind of like bring me back to reality sometimes. And it may not always be like doing something like a hike in the woods. It might be me working on my deck. I'm outside. I'm getting vitamin D. I'm using my body and my mind.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be doing, extensive nature things where you're hiking or, on the water. It could solely just be going outside, going for a walk, going outside and having the sun be in your face, or maybe getting some fresh air. So absolutely. Raymond?
The more I listen to Donna and everyone else talking, I'm like, we're all the same person, kind of basically. So like, I don't know if anyone else can relate, but like, I can zone out and daydream very easily, personally. So like, I like to be outside. I'll sit out, like go down to the park and just like sit on a bench and just listen and look and watch and just take everything in, and that helps ground me. So like being in nature, also being around other people, can do that. Like I can do that just sitting at the mall in Syracuse and just people watching and just
People
kind of
watching.
like zone
Yeah.
out
Love
and just
that.
like doing that finds me joy, and can help ground me.
But it's a great distraction strategy, whether we realize it or not, because we're going into a different setting or a different environment. So we're kind of changing, our mindset or our way of thinking already by going into a different environment or setting, or maybe doing a different activity like people watching, right? Like we're already distracting our minds and thinking about other things like, oh, what is this couple talking about, or what are this couple doing in the store? So I like that. It's a great example. All right, and that was just my references of my statistics. I did and the article that I found regarding the distraction strategy. So what I would like to do is I would like to thank you all for coming to tonight's group meeting and participating. And I want to ask you guys to check out with one word leaving today's group. Raymond?
Hopeful.
I like that. Hopeful that the week's almost done and we're towards the weekend.
Well, that, but also like this whole topic that as people
Yeah,
get more comfortable talking about it, that as well. But yes, also hopeful the weekend's coming, and yeah.
thank you. Donna?
Accomplished
I
since
like
we
that.
got this done.
Nikki?
I'll say interested because those stats were definitely interesting.
I like that. I'm going to go with intrigued based upon this open conversation. I enjoyed it. So thank you all for coming out, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.